I'm Raj from Tamil community in the UK. My question is, if Sri Lanka got nothing to hide, why don't you have free media and let these international media to go in open freely and talk to those people you showed on the video and let the information come out, rather than Sri Lankan government using these video and bringing and showing the people. You know, these money should be well spent in the north and east of Sri Lanka. Secondly, this gentleman over here said Tamil terrorist. You know, Sri Lankans don't feel Tamils as Tamils. They honestly feel Tamils are terrorists. You know, I'm going by the Okay, let me speak. That's what the commission said. It's my time. Let me speak. So, you know, this is what some Sinhalese friends they feel. I believe that Tamils and Sinhalese live side by side. We should do. You know, I was educated in this country. I'm, you know, first generation, but my family moved when I was really young. There are problems. I lost a few members of my family during the Civil War. In 1983, 4 of my mother's cousins on the way to Jaffna during the riots, they got stuck in Andhra and they got killed. And I had family who was bombed in Jaffna. I lost, you know, 3 members of family during that bombing. But Sri Lankan armed forces, you know, these things happen. You cannot say, you know, forget the past, we look forward. Yeah, we need to move forward, but we need to have accountability. You know, you cannot say a killer killed somebody and say, that's past. You know, I went to university, I want to get education, move on with my life. That person should be punished. In a democratic country, that's important. That's what the international community and the diaspora are asking for. We want reconciliation, but reconciliation should come with accountability, not just reconciliation alone wouldn't work. It didn't work in any other society. You know, that's my question. Can you Rajiv and Sir Peter, if you could answer that for us, in your experience, you know, what happened in Europe and Africa?
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, I think the first point you made is very valid, and I would ask my friends, you know, the term Tamil terrorist is, I think, inappropriate. I know what mean is the tigers, but I think we all have to be very careful distinguishing between tigers and terrorists. You know, we don't use the singular terrorists when we talk of the JBP in 71 and 83. So I think we need to be very careful, and I think the point he made is very valid. Because I know it would mean that terrorists are terrorists, but I think that nomenclature has to change, and we all as Sri Lankans must make the point that I think the Indian government always made to us: terrorists get rid of, protect the Tamils. I think that is absolutely vital, and I think that is a valid point. I think your second point about not letting the media in is actually not correct. Most of the media are allowed in. I had 2 Swedish Swiss young ladies recently. As I told you, I argued very hard for the media in 2009, and I'm glad I did so. But I also faced many people who said, you know, you're the type of person who wanted that type of reporting. If you have to recognize that media is not responsible. You know, Jeremy Page telling me that the UN said this when he didn't go to the UN, getting Chamberlain. These things happen. But I think, you know, when freedom and I have repeated, the High Commission has asked for Channel 4 to interview me. And I won't. In 2009, when I came here, they had asked and Channel 4 refused. Fortunately, BBC Breakfast Show, I had a show with them early morning. I didn't realize the breakfast show was so popular. And at the end of it, they thanked me. And I said, you shouldn't thank me, I should thank you for giving me a chance, unlike Channel 4. As I got into the car, Channel 4 rang. Why did you say anything? You didn't want to interview me. I said, because you did, you told the television, you couldn't have me. Nobody knows that we weren't sure of the time, but this meeting has come tonight. And I'm afraid not yours, I shouldn't be careful. Your predecessor's press officer, they gave me 10 interviews in one day, and when I said, you know, I'm getting older, I'm tired. He looked at me and said, asking the same questions. was saying the same thing virtually with art. So I had a long session with Channel 4. Since then, some have asked repeatedly, but turned down all the time. So you have to remember that the so-called free media doesn't want free comment. I have told some people when they ask me, can I go live? Now I do it, since I have to edit, I say, look, can I please have a tape of the edit of what I say? You can edit it, but then I know that you won't distort too much. So we all have to be very careful about that type of thing. But I think the final point is much more valid. There is this assumption that reconciliation requires what's called accountability. I think that is true. Accountability is necessary, not retribution. If you look at all the histories of successful wars, successful conflicts resolved, you had, of course, victor's justice, as we had yesterday in Nuremberg and in Tokyo. If you look at the two examples given to us of South Africa is an area in which a rather wicked group of people maintained an apartheid regime. It was sadly supported by certain countries at that stage, countries which should remain nameless. But by sheer force of research, someone like Mandela managed to make a change. No one mentioned the ANC has to be held accountable, or the poor Mandela was described as a terrorist in those days. But he said, I don't want my people to engage in recrimination against the South African whites. So let's have a reconciliation commission where they confess their sins. That's how it happened. Another one to it was Cambodia. I don't know whether you've been reading the recent debates. I personally find it actually quite good. I know the Pol Pot regime was awful, but the sight of 90-year-old men now being tried, what purpose does it serve? I find it wicked. So I'm not sure that it was recrimination. As I said, I personally believe, but you will probably tell me, no, punish them, that those poor kids who were dragooned and conscripted by the LPD were who killed us. When I got and said to the girls, I said, now are you going to kill me this time? And they said, no. But we have to be very sick 2 years ago if they saw me, they were shot me. There's a picture there of one girl that I remember very well, and I'm very fond of her, she was a toughie. So you see, we have to also forgive. We have to find out what happened. I agree with that. But I also think that if you look at the allegations being made, there's such gobbledygook. 40,000? How can anyone seriously say the number is between 10,000 and 40,000? I have looked at all the figures, the ICRC statistics. I mean, don't forget that I was in Chennai recently and I asked, about 10,000 people walked away there. So this gobbledygook is designed to create emotion. Here is someone like you, as you say, would like to work together. But you also feel worried after you see that. You think, my God, 40,000 of my people were killed. If you know 40,000, it's my people as well. One point I want to make very, very clear is that when I took over the Peace Secretariat, I would get every day reports on what Tamilnet said, the so-called allegations. And I would monitor them and ask the forces for any incident that I thought was untoward. I can assure you that on Tamilnet, from the beginning of the operation till the end of 2008, the Tamilnet allegations amounted to only 78 civilian casualties. 460 air raids, I think I'm saying also, only 29 of them were there. Allegations of civilian casualties. I used to bring these up in my weekly meetings because I had all the forces. And sometimes in neighborhood turning, we would pick targets for the Air Force, and the Air Force would say, we won't take that out because it's too near a village. Of those 29 incidents, 22 involved only 1 or 2 civilians, according to them. All this is forgotten. And in case you think my statistics are wrong, Al Jazeera was there and had the highest right to regard for Al Jazeera. I always recommend them to come. They criticize us. Tony Berkeley has been quite critical sometimes, but Tony Berkeley is a responsible journalist. If he says something, you know that there is a reason for it. And he looked at my figures, my whole tables, I still have them. And said, oh, those are the figures we have as well. Dare people claim that our forces engaged in indiscriminate attacks? How dare they say we shared hospitals? When the ICRC figures show very clearly what it was. I'm not embarrassed the young lady. I'm asking her whether she stands by the statement you said that this video wasn't edited.
I'm not part of the panel. I'm here for the Q&A session.
That's why I said I wouldn't embarrass you, but I'm glad your answer indicated you might have been embarrassed. But this young man implicitly believes everything he says Channel 4 said, maybe he never said it, because as I said, I can quote at length from Diak Spivak and Stitz talking about that second video. And I believe the book will be given to you. How the fifth segment, one says it was at a different time, another says at a different place. There are explanations for these. Yeah. Come out with such lies. They may be foolish, and perhaps they're not lying, they may believe these are true. But it is worrying. So your point, I think, is that we have to understand what happened. That's what happened in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in South Africa, which was a different kettle of fish. It was Mandela telling his people, forgive the apartheid movement. And we know what that led to, because one person who was an advisor to Jonas Savimbi, the terrorist in Angola, was the person who provided a lot of the material to the Darusman report. Alexander, who was featured by Channel 4, 3 years ago I said to the government of Sri Lanka, this guy had gone around Geneva telling lies, we know the UN police controlling their day. But I wrote at the time, this guy is going to be recycled at some future stage. And sure enough, he was. So I think we have enough evidence of a deliberate attempt to destroy a country, trying to move towards peace and togetherness. But I do welcome the point you made, that we have to remember, and I would urge all my friends, with a single we stand as all Muslims, to remember that the people of this country are together against terrorists, and I hope against extremists also.